everyone. This is 6 spinal sequences that I like to use for stiff spines. You can do all 6 together, one after the other, or you can just choose a few to do as a warm-up for your Pilates mat. Let's begin. Going on to all fours, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. The first sequence is cat-cow. You're going to round your spine, lifting your waist up to the ceiling, letting your head drop forward, and tucking your tailbone underneath you. Reverse the spine, going into a cow position, lifting your eyes and chest, and feel your sit bones wide and high. And again, rounding into cat, lifting the waist. Feel like your waist is lifting up so much, your pelvis is lifting off of your thigh bones. And reversing the direction, sit bones go wide and high. Looking up, feeling your chest wide. One more time, rounding. Good, you can press those shins down into the floor for a little extra as you lift that waist up. And arching, looking up. Second sequence is Poodle Tail. Come into a neutral position. Start to rotate your right thigh bone inward, which is bringing the foot out to the side. Keep those arms straight. Bend the spine sideways to look at the foot. And then return the head and the foot to the center and other side. Twist the left thigh bone inward to bring the foot out to the side. Keep the arms straight, turn to look at the foot. And return. Right side again, turn the thigh bone inward, the foot goes out to the side. Side bend to look at the foot. I'm going to take a nice inhale into the left ribs. And exhale back to the center. Internally rotate the left thigh bone. Turn to look at the foot. Inhale into the right ribs. And exhale back to the center. One more time to the right. Really feeling the left waist lengthen. And return. And to the left. Here we'll feel our right side lengthen. And back to the center. Now going into a sequence called Prayer into Puppy. You're going to keep your pelvis still. Let your head go forward. Bend the elbows until you can touch the crown of your head to the mat. No weight on your head. Continue looking down with your chin tucked as you straighten your arms. Now reverse the spinal direction, looking up, sit bones wide and high, just like in cow position. But this time you're going to tuck your toes under and shift your trunk back as far as you can while still keeping your sit bones wide and high. And then you return to all fours neutral with the tops of your feet flat on the ground. And we go again. The head tucks, so it's like you're doing a cat with your upper body. You bend the elbows, touching the crown of your head to the mat. Straighten the elbows, it'll feel like you're doing a mini push-up. Once those elbows are straight, go into a cow pose. Sit bones wide and high, looking up. Tuck those toes under. Sit back toward your heels, maintaining the arch in your spine. And come back to all fours, feet flat. And again, round the upper spine, tuck the head, bend the elbows. My pelvis is staying still. Press into your hands, doing a mini push-up to straighten the arms. Arch the back, looking up, tuck those toes under, and shifting back. Good, watch that your shoulders don't ride into your ears. Good. Keep your collarbone wide and shoulders down. Let's do this one more time. Rounding the upper back, tucking the head, bending the elbows, touching the crown of the head to the mat. Straightening the elbows. Looking up, tuck the toes under, and sitting back. Very good. Our third sequence is side lying. You may use a pillow for your head. Or if a pillow is not available, you can make a pillow with your bottom arm. Okay? I'm going to use my arm for this sequence. My knees coming straight out from my hips. I'm making a 90-degree angle here and a 90-degree angle at the knee. I'm going to bring my top arm to my ear, bend my elbow, place that hand over my right ear. From here I start to side bend, beginning at the waist, which means I'm trying to draw my top rib and top waist together. Then to deepen that, I start to lift my top foot. My thigh bones are still together. And I do a side bend with my upper body. My hand is supporting my head. I'm not pulling on my head. It's actually these muscles here that are lifting me. And then I slowly lower both ends of my body back to the original position. And going again. Top rib and top hip start to move towards one another. The foot lifts. My knees are staying together. I'm just allowing my thigh bone to rotate in. And nice and slow, return. One more time to the side. Top rib and hip move towards one another. I do a side bend with my upper body and I lift that top foot. While my left side is shortening here, my right side is allowing for length. The side that's closer to the mat. And coming back down. And we'll flip. Okay. 90-degree and 90-degree. My top arm is over the top of my head and holding on to the bottom ear. First, we start moving the rib and the hip closer to one another. Then the top foot lifts, the upper body goes into a side bend. And a slow return. Top rib and the top hip come towards one another. The foot lifts, the upper body lifts. My left waist is lengthening. Last time on this side. Top waist shortening, left waist allowing for length. Next sequence will go onto our back. Again, if you need, you can use a pillow behind your head. I'm not going to use a pillow for this one. I'm going to bring my arms out to the side, even though I'm on this mat, right? If you're on the ground, your entire arm will, of course, be touching on the ground. Don't feel like you need to hold your arms up. You're going to allow your entire arm to be supported by the ground. From here, I'm going to pick up my right leg, and I'm going to cross the ankle over my knee. And then I'm going to allow that foot to come down. Again, you probably won't be on a bench like I am. So that foot will come towards the ground and then rest there. And I'm allowing length to happen along this part of my spine. And then come back. And again. Now if it's difficult to bring that foot all the way down to the ground, feel free to bring the floor up by adding books, or if you have a yoga block, you could put a yoga block there. Stack up as much as you need to be able to relax that foot onto something. And return. Last time. And return. Switching sides. Left ankle over the right thigh. Bringing that foot to the ground or to the yoga block or whatever you have. And return. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And return. One more. Good. If you are holding your breath, you might want to pull back a little bit. Add something underneath your foot. And return. Next sequence, we'll go to side lying again. This time I am going to use a pillow underneath my head. I'm finding that 90-90 position again. I have a 90-degree angle at my hip and my knee. My knees are stacked. And I start by stacking my arms. My palms are together. Keeping the lower body still, I start to lift my arm up to the ceiling. I let my head follow, and I open. I'm only going as far as I can keep my lower body still without too much effort. If you find that you're holding your breath or doing a lot of bracing in order to keep your lower body still, I want you to pull back a little bit and maybe not go as far. If you respect the body's boundaries and only go to where you can breathe easily, your body may allow you to go a little further each time. If you don't respect those boundaries, you might find that you have a little bit of a rebound effect. Going to the other side. Ninety-90. Stacking my arms. Lifting the arm up, letting my head follow. 2 more. So those are your mini spinal sequences, great to do just as a grouping together or as a precursor to your Pilates mat.